Today, I'm chatting with Suji Yan, creator and CEO of Mask. Mask runs on Twitter and Facebook, and it brings all of cryptocurrency together. This is going to be a long interview. I would appreciate it if you hit the like button now, and if you want to hang out and watch the whole thing, that's even better. Now, the first 8 minutes are really bad. Great content, very bad audio. I don't know what happened, but that's what it is. If you want to just jump to the clean audio, I'm going to leave the time code here and in the description. So, let's get started. Did I say your name right, Suji?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm here with Suji Yan, and we're talking about Maskbook. We're going to go over what it is, what it does, and the power of the decentralized internet and, Facebook, Twitter, secured with messaging. Really bad example, and that's why Suji is here. So, welcome, Suji, and please tell us more about Maskbook. Or Mask. It's now Mask, right?
Yeah. It's now the better brand is Mask Network with the governance token Mask. Yeah. So we started this thing around 2018, as I mentioned, and been working on this for a little bit around 3 years. Everyone know what is Web 2.0, right? We're trying to build a bridge between Web 2.0 and Web 2.0. Web 2.0 is in general the platform you use every day: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. It's already a monopolized platform, so people don't really have no other option. Web 3 is more utopia version of the web, right? No matter you believe in version of Vitalik or other chain or Kim Berners-Lee, it's being pictured as a really utopia version of the web with the technology like blockchain, peer-to-peer network, decentralized power. Really very, very cool, and the real situation is no one can build these technology easily on top of the existing daily platform. Like, hey, you can use that. How can I use my great Ethereum magic on Twitter or Facebook? Seems no way. So in 2018, we realized this is a huge problem in the industry, and there's actually no one trying to solve this problem. Everyone's left to build a new protocol on Web3. And doing this middleware is a really, really tough job, but we think it's possible. So we start to working on this. The first functionality, as Daniel mentioned in the early days. Sorry, let me share. Okay, here's my Twitter. Here's my Twitter on my browser, Chrome. So the first functionality, as mentioned by Daniel, is actually very easy and simple to use one. It's about encrypted message. Reminds people the early version of encrypted email, right? Back in the 90s. For example, when you install Mass Network, you have all this, interesting logo showing up here, Mass Network, and that's your MetaMask wallet. And I can just click here and say, hi, DFV, that's your name, right? Sorry, FPV. Thanks for your interview. Let's make the web better. Okay. Let's go to the open web. So assume this is something I want to share in an encrypted manner. I will use the everyone, and also can select a specific recipient for this message. So I can select, for example, let's say that, or other my Twitter contact, right?
Yeah. So these are all like Twitter names, or
these are Twitter names. Yeah, these are Twitter names. Also, my friend can be the recipient. So I just click down. So everyone plus or maybe just him. But for the demo purpose, I just choose everyone. So when you install Mass Network, you can actually see this message. And I will encrypt this into gibberish. And when you tweet it, it will also post on Twitter, and then it will also become something you can decrypt and read automatically if you have the Mass Network. There's so many ways of encryption, so we can encrypt into gibberish, we can encrypt into cipher, different kind of cipher text like image. So I can say, hey, image payload. I'll demonstrate later on, but you can type message in a way that Twitter and Facebook will never see it. There's no server behind it. Yeah.
Yeah. How does the image payload work? So I'd be able to have an encrypted image on Twitter?
Yeah, you can have image on Twitter. Hi again. I'm gonna check my VPN, but usually it can work.
Okay.
Yeah. That was working right now. Now you have the image here, right? And again, this message is hidden in the image. Where's my timeline? The message is hidden in the image. So hi again, it shows that. So that's the first functionality we did back in 2018, 2019. It's nothing about cryptocurrency, but it's about cryptocurrency power.
Yeah.
Then everyone who understands how crypto works actually know that it's just another form of information. There's never real physical money there. It's all a bunch of information moving from a block to a block, right? Moving and accumulating block by block. And so if you can send over text on top of Twitter and Facebook in a way that we interact with the platform, but never real have the centralized interaction with the platform server.
Right.
You can actually send the cryptocurrency on top, over top as well. It's a little bit like you're using your AT&T for your WhatsApp, and AT&T have no idea what you're doing for the WhatsApp, right? Over top. Yeah. So the next thing we did is we had some partnership with several OGs and they endorsed us, and then we partnered with the MakerDAO Foundation on the promoting of DAI. DAI stablecoin back in last year.
Early last year. Yeah, you guys have been
early last year.
Yeah.
That's around 1.5 years, right? January last year for Lunar New Year. That's before the COVID, still the good time. So here's example. I sent a wrap packet on Twitter. You see here's something you can claim. There's a DAI logo. Unfortunately, it's expired for a year. Some other claim it already. And then Vitaly sent over a wrap packet as well.
Oh, it did. Wow.
Yeah. So that's the wrap packet, and
so just to explain the red packet for people that don't know, that's kind of like an airdrop. You claim the red packet, you get a little bit of cryptocurrency. Is that correct?
Yeah, and the funny part is you can actually use it and enjoy it on Twitter, which is never the case because we know it is centralized, and you don't want to give out your key. You don't want to use a centralized wallet, and it seems no other solution that we able to blend it to work together, bridge it to work together, and we had this great partnership with the MakerDAO for promoting DAI. A lot of people really enjoy it because it's very fun, right? Hey, send over, and it's on Twitter, but it's not really on Twitter.
Yeah, it's on there. It makes it accessible. How did you get that partnership with the MakerDAO? Because that is not easy to do for a lot of crypto companies or crypto groups. Yeah.
I say very honestly, MakerDAO was we were quite small project. MakerDAO was a quite small project back then as well. Right? Not very people realize it, but I'll give you a few numbers. So while you're doing the partnership, here's the screenshot for the MakerDAO partnership, and they sent over the Happy Chinese New Year, Happy Lunar New Year. It's been 1 year, and everyone like, hey, wow, this is real DAI on Twitter. They're claiming it. Maker had around 3,000. I don't know, actually 30K holder of DAI around last year January. That's before the DeFi hype. Remember that before the DeFi thing, there's a 30K, 40K holder of DAI. It's definitely a small number, right? So DeFi is one great help in the starting from June, July, have a lot of hype. Another thing we believe will bring the hype to the blockchain is the social, and it's the Web2 power. Bring the Web2 user to the Web3. So we helped the maker did this great campaign with the the DAI wrap pocket and increase their DAI holder for 10%. That's 2K, 3K DAI holder that time. It's all during the campaign. It's just like 2-3 days of wrap pocket, and everyone love it. They say, hey, that's so cool.
Yeah.
You know, receive it, send it over. It's definitely a cool use case of DAI. So that's something we also did in the early days of Mask Network. So you can send message, you can send money. I can even send money right now. I mean, it's pretty easy.
Could you go over like what type of currencies or networks you support at the moment?
We're gonna support multi-chain very soon, but for this version, I'll just demonstrate on the mainnet for the demo purpose. I'll just say wrap pocket. I'll create a new one, and there's average model or random. Random is for the lucky, you know, if you're lucky or not, depends. I mean, I think I'm gonna do an average model, and I'll have 10 shares maybe, and then I will have amount per share 0.01 ETH. That's around that's not a small number. That's 0.1 ETH, and I'm connecting to my MetaMask. So I'm gonna send some 0.1 ETH, and my MetaMask is gonna pop up. Or if I'm using my I'm token wallet or mobile phone wallet, my phone gonna pop up.
Yeah, approve it.
I will reject it actually. The gas fee is really high.
Since this is on Ethereum, do you guys also support Binance Smart Chain?
Yeah. Actually, Binance invested us 2 months ago just for a deeper partnership on the multi-chain EVM compatible chain. So you can imagine that you are on Twitter, you are on Facebook, but you are empowered by the Mask Network. Now you are in the Web3. That's just one example. Later on, you can not only, definitely you can, the DAI is getting larger, we're getting larger as well. The whole DeFi ecosystem is getting larger. So later on, you can not only send cryptocurrency to your friends for fun, you can also, trade. You can say, hey, I really like the token Mask or like Maker. Let's use the example of Mask. You search Mask, and you will see some information we fetch from the graph and fetch from the coin market cap.
Oh, that's cool! This is a feature of Mask? You could just do what?
You can do trading on Twitter.
And,
let's find some DJing guy. Are you a DJing guy? Are you like ape together, or you're like?
Oh no! I make calculated risk. I do not. Okay. No, I would be broke by now. DJs don't last a year.
Yeah. But let's say this guy obviously some kind of DJ. It's a bot, but like, hey,
I follow that one.
Token. I like it's like usually that's how DJ people look like on Twitter. Like, hey, I love this token. Everyone buy it, or everyone. I really enjoy this meme, whatever. So I enjoy UVA. I think they're doing great. So I have my mouse here. UVA. What is UVA? Then my net was a little bit slow, but you can see, wow, okay, I've got token info. I got, it's listed in all these exchange, Binance, Coinbase. Wow, legit token. But I don't want to do KYC. Let's buy here. So I will buy 0.2 ETH of UMA. That's a lot of money. That's around like several $100.
Yeah.
Right?
So is this Uniswap? It's integrated with Uniswap?
Yeah, it's Uniswap, and you can also choose different other directs. Yeah, you can do Sushi or or kind of major DEX. It's all integrated, and directs we partner with them for the aggregator. Yeah. And I will just swap. And
it's expensive. We don't have to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's magical because it's the first time. You can't see my MetaMask, but actually it's
it's not showing up on the camera, but I'll edit it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna say reject, and here you're gonna say reject. Yeah. It's rejected. So it's magical because it's the first time you can actually hook up the MetaMask or other wallet on Twitter, because Twitter is definitely a centralized network, right?
Yeah.
And I can also change the wallet to my Wallet Connect. So here's my iPhone,
Yeah.
and I will have my best wallet. Well, I have a lot of mobile phone wallet. I will have one of them ready, and then I'll scan the QR code, and like how you use the Alipay or like other like Facebook login, all these things. You use QR code a lot, right?
Yeah.
And it's connected again with the MetaMask wallet. And this time, again, I want to buy some mask. And depends on my jurisdiction. Well, I'm using my Hong Kong network. So I believe in Hong Kong, you can actually buy from, I'm not sure, I think Hong Kong, in Hong Kong, I'm able to buy masks, even the gas fee is a little bit high. Oh, it's okay. It's a little bit slippage. 1,000 Hong Kong dollar. I can use my Visa card to buy it on Twitter. Yeah.
What's powering the Visa card payments? Like what are you guys using there?
That's done by a company called Transact. We met the company founder in its early days, and we actually become a very small strategic investor in Transact, alongside with the Consensus Joe Lubin, their venture arm. So Transact is now our default fee on ramp. We can integrate more. They're a fee on ramp aggregator. So it depends on jurisdiction. You can buy all these major tokens. Just use your card on Twitter.
Yeah.
And again, these are run in the decentralized version of the web, and we're using a really strong sandbox. It's our like new technology. So Twitter don't have no idea what you're doing. They don't really know what you're doing. They just know you're browsing tweets. And then you're APing, right? And this is a different wallet, so I have a smaller amount of ETH. And when I confirm swap, you see my iPhone gonna pop up the confirmation. I want to So I will also reject.
Yeah.
And I will disconnect my wallet now, so you will see the wallet also disappear here. Now I need to connect a different wallet. So that's how it works, but it will never, in other scenario, it never work with the Twitter, it never work with the centralized platform so well. So that's just a small power of Mask.
Yeah.
And we were lucky that, as mentioned, the whole industry is growing larger and larger. So when we have this thing finalized, we a tweet to the Uniswap core team, and they're also quite active on Discord, on Twitter, right? They're good people. So I talked to them, say, hey, you guys are doing great. Yeah, everyone love Uni team, right? Everyone love Uni.
Yeah.
What if we can make it available on Twitter and Facebook?
It's a one-stop shop. Like I open CoinMarketCap in another tab all the time, but if I had this like within Twitter, there's no problem.
Yeah. So I talked to them. They're like, shit, this is amazing. Then let me show you another amazing screen. So these Vitalik sending tweets, and that's then feeling MetaMask endorsing us, because that's the first time he saw someone able to hook up MetaMask on Twitter. It's like magic, right?
Yeah.
And then the Uniswap thing also let us have all the partnership and endorsement from the Uniswap core team. Aiden Adams and Uniswap protocol endorse us. That's been a while. That's been another 10 months, I'd say. We keep delivering new amazing features, and partnership with the CoinMarketCap partner for the coin data
Pricing.
info, and it's being used a lot. And then we got people like Balaj. He's very interesting in this technology. So that's why he invested. But that's how we get to know like Adams, and you can go here a little bit. You can see this image about Uniswap protocol endorsing us, and so it's like magic.
Yeah, but, I gotta say, Suji, I'm being a little critical here. You guys got to work on that website, because I didn't know you guys could do any of this. I downloaded it, I installed the Chrome extension. I was like, okay, you can hide tweets, but I didn't know it had all these other super useful tools that I would use every day, swapping, price checking, and all of that.
Yeah, we have to do better promotion. That's why I'm here, right? So not only that, like hey, you have the privacy power of the Web3. Now you have the free of money. You can send money and receive money, and you can also how do you say trade. Well, you can also fundraising, right? Because a lot of important thing about the Web3 is, I mean, decentralized fundraising and form a decentralized organization DAO, right? So another case we did is we partnered with Bitcoin, which they just released their governance token, GTC recently, but it was good old days. They were also quite everyone's small, right, that time. So we partnered with Bitcoin, and they had a great thing with the crypto. They moved the screen a little bit to right. So yeah.
Oh yeah, no, we're not live anyway. I'm recording the
the whole screen. Yeah. So you can they partnered with the Crypto for Black Lives initiative on the Bitcoin campaign, and that's a huge thing last year, right, BLM?
Yeah.
Especially people want to fundraise and then protest or do something good for the local community in a peaceful way. Usually you don't have that power. When you fundraise, the KYC problem is pretty painful, and you don't want to use your Venmo and PayPal to accept 100 people's different, you don't want to accept 100 different payments in one day. It makes your account looks really suspicious, and people.
Yeah, it does.
These banks, or I say PayPal actually ban my account, for some reason like that. So Gitcoin, we reach out to Gitcoin, and Scott and Wookie, they're like, okay, it'll be great if we can do that on Twitter. Let's fundraise on Twitter. I will give several examples again. When I browse the website of of other people mentioning Gitcoin, there was something we usually see. First, proposal, because Gitcoin is DAO, so we can see someone like he's mentioning a proposal for the Gitcoin token. Gitcoin Akita token is now in the Gitcoin treasury. That's done by the collaboration with the Snapshot team of Balancer. They now independent Snapshot lab. So I can see the proposal. I can see, do I want to burn? I want to burn Akita, and I want to see the progress of this voting. Again, this voting is actually on Snapshot. It's on chain, right? But it's on Twitter. It was a little bit slow here. But another thing I can do is I might want to donate to someone who are fundraising right now. So here, this Alliance.art, I believe it's an NFT foundation, NFT DAO. I want to donate to this guy. Seems very legit, right? Click donate and choose my best currency, DAI or USDC, or depends. I will say USDC. Do I have USDC? No, I don't have any US. Oh, I do have. I'll do 100, and then I'll do the lock, unlock, and it's 40.
What's infinite unlock?
Oh, it's like when you do DeFi, you have to unlock the infinite amount, so you can
I see.
Interact with the contract. That's the Bitcoin contract. We don't do our own contract. So it's like we bring everything to Web2. No matter you are a DeFi great project like MakerDAO or a Uniswap, we talk to them, and we usually talk to them in early. They say, hey, dude, do you want to have something run on Twitter? So all the DJ folks or like all the Web2 people were able to use that, and they say, wow, amazing. How can you achieve that? Do you have any server? And now I tell them our team is really decentralized. We don't have any server. It's all running as a peer-to-peer middleware and a lot of blockchain middleware stuff. And you can donate, you can fundraise, you can transfer money, you can trade, and you can also do NFT, because NFT is another form of information. Again, everyone like it, but no one can able to buy the NFT on Twitter, right? So in that scenario, we also have a really interesting individual artist who helped us did a great job for the NFT before the hype. Now it's working for everyone. So you see here, we have a real screenshot for Biden NFT. It's like your Flash game, your Zynga game, social game on Twitter. You can play around this card, and you can have this Biden card to fight with the other side. And the NFT is rendered on Twitter. So, I mean, I can actually just search OpenSea. And I'm wondering who's posting these NFT links right now. Yeah. A lot of people are discussing the OpenSea, and yeah, I'm actually very curious at what's going to happen. I'll find an example of people talking about OpenSea, and yeah. So this is Sang-Jan Lee, whom I don't know, who might be a huge NFT lover or just learning. And the interesting part is, you see here, what is this? Mass plugin, collectible, OpenSea. OpenSea is on Twitter. We inject this thing and render it on Twitter. And well, I haven't tried an NFT, right? Okay, I would like to make an offer. Okay. I have USDC again. USDC, right? USDC here. 1,000 USDC. I will do a time. I will able to set up a time for this option, for this offer. Next week, and I will just say, hey, make offer.
Yeah.
Again, my MetaMask pop up. This time, I may actually make this offer in the real world, because this seems like pretty interesting NFT. Pretty interesting pending. Yeah. So it's all like magic. I'll reject this again. It's all like magic. Without the mass network, it's just a link, and you can. This is a screenshot. This is a link, and it's a picture, a PNG, a GIF. But it was never something on blockchain. The NBA Talk Shop, the OpenSea, all these things. They're a great platform. They provide great content, but they're not able to bring all these things in Twitter. So
one place, one stop shop. Yeah. It's hard to go to all these different places all at once.
Yeah, and eventually, like, hey, why do you need to use, or you have to use all these kind of platform and middleware to make it better, Web3, but the entry point should be just part of the Web2. I was a tech journalist, independent journalist. I mentioned that in our in very early few minutes. I want to use the case of 90s to describe what we were really trying to do. In the 90s, no one really liked Bill Gates, right? He's an asshole in the 90s, and Microsoft is the monopolized software. There's many attempts to build an alternative operating system better than Microsoft Windows. There was Linux, there's many other attempts like Mac OS, but in the end they all failed in some way. There's no one can really really win the OS war compared to Windows, right?
Yeah, there's so many Twitter clones, so many Twitter clones, so many like Twitter on the blockchain, but it's hard to get the adoption.
Yeah, you can never bring people to a different social network besides those mainstream ones. I'd say it's super hard. What I learned from the 90s, after I able to interview those real OGs like Tim Berners-Lee, like the Ted Nelson. He's even OG than Tim Berners-Lee. These people and other people who previously worked for Netscape. After I got several chance to talk to them and interview them, I realized, okay, in the 90s, it's the same situation. People are in the software world. They have never tried web before. They have never tried internet before. The software world is what they live for, daily working, daily entertaining, right? The internet was a buzzword. Everyone heard of, internet, really cool. You can do all this thing, but I've never tried. How can I try it? Then someone will tell you, hey, dude, you learn some Linux and you learn some coding, you can try internet. It's the exactly same situation. And what really changed the game is the Netscape Navigator, the first commercial browser So you can install a thing, you can install a software inside Windows and double click, boom, you're in the internet right now. You can browse AOL, Yahoo, Google, Amazon, whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. No one really tell people what's the limit of internet. Definitely you can play video, you can play radio, you can buy books, right? You can buy whatever you want. So that's the same thing here. I think Ethereum, other like EVM compatible open chain, and there's many chain like Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, all these family are a more decentralized, better version of the web. They're the new internet. But we are stuck in the old web, in Twitter, Facebook, and let's don't assume people can learn MetaMask. Right? Let's don't assume everyone can learn coding or those cryptographic key thing. Let's do something like this. Like, hey, we learned from the 90s. Sorry, what if we can build something like the Netscape Navigator, and everyone stay on Twitter and Facebook? Boom, you have all these amazing features from Web3 right on top of Web2. So not only send encrypted message, not only trading with Uniswap, SushiSwap, not only NFT, we can also do decentralized storage. That part we partner with Arweave. We also have ongoing bounty with SIA, with other decentralized storage Swarm. So you can do all these great things. We don't even know what's the limitation.
I'm shocked.
Story of Mask.
I'm shocked with how much you guys can do right now. So how are you guys doing that integration with file storage? Would that just have a plugin for some of these file storage networks?
Yeah. So do you mind I take a screenshot of you, like we're doing the recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. That's you in Zoom. And okay, I just take a screenshot, but I want to send it to decentralized storage, not decentralized AWS. I click here and file service, right? And then, I can actually make it encrypted. I can use the Mason CDN, which is decentralized CDN, very cool to accelerate network. This hosting is on Arweave right now. Drag and drop, like the Dropbox experience. Let's wait a little bit because it's decentralized. Oh, it's actually pretty fast. And I'm close to a lot of their nodes, right? Because I believe the decentralized CDN helped me accelerate the uploading. And I'm gonna use the file. And thanks for your interview. Fans, this is the screen shot. Okay. And again, we are making this encrypted, and let me post it. And what's gonna really embedded in this post is actually a file. It's a decentralized storage file, and here we go. Screenshot 2021, June. Thanks for interview. It's encrypted with the key. When I click here, it goes to the Arweave. We have this like middleware, and it's not really just some normal website.
So
you see, it's rendered as a kind of like hash of the file, and now I'm able to render this file preview. It's you.
What kind of fees would someone expect? Is this like no fees to upload files on?
So Arweave, actually most of the decentralized file storage is pretty cheap. So we partnered with Arweave Foundation. They actually give us a lot of AR token. We work together to make it more adaptable for user. We are one of the largest entry point for AR because people just love to upload files on Twitter. And let's imagine on Instagram, why should I just upload it to a centralized server? I should do a decentralized backup. There are many people doing that on Twitter right now. So our users are like, hey, okay, this is Arweave. We'll try it out. Later on, we're going to do pay to unlock. We're going to use smart contract to do pay to unlock. That part we partner with the unlock protocol. So Daniel, maybe you have some, I don't know, maybe you have some cool picture only for fans.
I was like, that's awesome. I know where you're going with that.
Buy the Daniel personal social token or pay him 5 DAI to unlock. That will be on layer 2, integrated with Polygon, BSC, and also Unlock Network. Unlock Network going to have the Polygon version as well. Unlock Protocol. And again, all these things are something like a dApp, but it's running in the Web 2. So we give it a new name. We call it decentralized dApplet. So what is dApplet? Well, dApplet is some dApp, but it's able to program and change the Web 2. Unlike the, let's say the CryptoKitty can only change the given website, cryptokitty.com. We can change the whole Web 2 landscape. So there's a lot of dApplet already up and running. We call plugins, but the name for developer is dApplet. The Red Pocket, we partner with MakerDAO. File service with Arweave. ITO is the initial tweet offering. I will actually tell you the story later on. You can sell a new token, you can launch a new token on Twitter. It's like the IDO, but this is on social network.
Yeah.
Bitcoin with partnership with Bitcoin, Twitter with Uniswap, SushiSwap people, Snapshot, Transact for fiat on ramp, collectible for OpenSea, and valuable. So there's so many, dApplet is also up and running. Remember Jack Dorsey sold his tweet for $2 million? Yeah. So that's done by a team. Yeah, we already integrate that. We're still doing the testing these days. So that's done by a team called Valuable/Stand. Cameron, these guys are great founder. I think they live in Boston, New York City. We are really proud to help them, and we don't really have that amazing idea. They got the idea. They implement that. We help make it better. We are also more strategic investor in them, and we only help all these guys, right? We want to help Uni, help Sushi. They're much larger than us. We also want to help these like valuable team. They got Jack's attention, but they also need a lot of help. We are kind of proud to say, hey, we want to help you guys, right? We want to bring all this Web3 magic on Web 2. So your tweet is no longer a tweet. It's an NFT. It's something you can pay to unlock. The content is stored in decentralized storage, and you can ape in and degen. Like I will ape in, I will degen Elon Musk if he mentioned any token. But right now he's on it's Bitcoin. I will ape in WBTC later on, right? So that's the story of Musk. It's have unlimited imagination. We actually don't know what's the next feature because a lot of features are not really delivered by us. Is someone reach out say, hey, do you want to make this thing available in Web 2? We say, yeah, definitely, let's partner. And we wrote some code together and we publish that in the Mass Network plugin. This is not in the store, but later on will be decentralized dApp store, dApplet store, and the dApplet will run on Twitter and Facebook. So it's all amazing.
So I'd like to know more about three things, so I don't forget. The ITO, initial Twitter offering, the security of having the Chrome plugin working with the wallets, and the company, how it's growing, and the future plans. So could we start with the ITO?
Sure. So ITO, as I mentioned, is just like any other ICO, IDO, like initial whatever offering. It's a way to offering token, but it's on Twitter. And I mean, I see a lot of people, a lot of Western user of crypto are just like Twitter user, right? They just, hey, I know this thing from Twitter. Why can't I buy this token on Twitter? I want to buy a new token on Twitter. Can we do a launch? That's why we did ITO. So
for the ITOs, will you guys be integrating mask tokens as like the fuel for people to participate?
It's the governance token right now. So I'll give you a few examples. So so here's someone trying to do ITO. Let me see. So DAO Square, right? They're doing a DAO. They're trying to do an ITO, and to do an ITO, there's several versions. This is permissionless ITO. It's like Uniswap. You don't need to ask for permission. But if you launch with the community choice ITO with our technical support, you have to have the DAO, the Mass Network DAO, approved on that. So you can cast a vote yes or no, and that's how the ITO works. That's the plan. Blah blah blah. It's already being ended. The snapshot is rendered on Twitter, so I can vote on Twitter with my mask token. you can use my wallet with my Mask token and vote. Say, hey, I do like this project. Let's do ITO. And later on, depends on the project. We can just go to here DAO Square. Just for example, I believe they already finished the ITO for a while ago. Okay, here's the ITO. How it worked? Again, it's a tweet. And how the tweet work is it's kind of rendering the data from the Web3, like the on-chain data, and let's wait. I don't know what they're selling. They're selling their governance token. So Rice is their governance token, and their ITO plan was written in the voting before, and people agreed. Our DAO agreed, so they just did the ITO.
Okay.
DAO Square ITO round 2. Boom.
So just to recap, the ITO process is first they have to apply with the DAO, then it goes up for voting, and then if voting is approved, then the ITO is launched on Twitter. So there is like some security, like not anyone can like, bam, I'm doing an ITO.
Anyone can do an ITO, but to pass the security or not only security audit, like our team, our DAO will involve, make sure this is not a scam project. And if you pass voting, we're gonna assume, it's a cool project. Everyone go follow his tweet. Follow the tweet, and the tweet become a place to sell, to buy and sell token. This is other stuff. But next time, when you notice someone's doing ITO, follow Twitter and set a reminder, then go to his tweet page and boom, buy a new token. And that's the ITO. And it's quite amazing because the Mask governance token, the Mask network token Mask, is launched on Twitter. We never did any IEO, any IDO, any coinless. Even though we think these are great platform, but we want to try a new way. So we invented ITO. It's working pretty well, right? On ITO, the traffic was so large, it even crashed the major Ethereum RPC node. Like, we have a strong hit for Infura. The traffic's like sky high. I believe like EOS or other token when they're doing ICO, they also have that kind of traffic. So that's the Mask governance token. There's many other usage. But here's just one example. People love
because I'm wondering, like, you can use the Mask network, the plugin without the token. I was like, how does the token get integrated? I think it'd be really cool if that becomes a requirement to participate in these ITOs, so it creates more value for you guys and what you guys are doing. But could you also explain more about the other use cases and like why people would need the Mask token?
Yeah, I mean, as a daily user, if you're a newbie to crypto, you have 0.1 ETH. You probably don't need Mask because you don't really participate in governance, right? You don't really participate in these other things. But like, hey, you don't need Uni to use Uniswap. You don't need Sushi to use SushiSwap, and you don't need Maker and other stuff to use Compound, to use DAI. So we want to do the same system. Anyone can use it. But if you want to participate into the governance, into the details, into the development, you will have to have the Mask token. ITO sub-DAO is one of the sub-DAO. We have a lot of sub-DAOs for different purpose. We have the review committee is selected from the holders of the Mask, and you have to do voting, you have to do a lot of proposal stuff. It's been pretty new. It's just 2 months, 3 months, but it's evolving pretty fast. We're still learning a lot from all these like pioneers like Maker and Uni, right? They're doing great jobs. And another thing we can empower the Mask holder and require some Mask token to do is the premium features. Like developers may want to develop a plugin, a decentralized applet. And as a developer, if you want to deploy a smart contract on ETH, you have to have some ETH because there'll be something up and running, right? It's the same thing here. As a developer, if you want to use the graph, you will use some GRT, you will stick some GRT. It's the same thing here for the Mask token. We haven't fully opened the SDK for the plugin, but we already have the top tier, decentralized applet partners with us, like all the features I mentioned are not only done by us, are done by a collaboration with many other top tier teams, no matter that's Uniswap, MakerDAO. And we all share the same vision, bring Web3 to the Web2 people. And later on, we won't have time to talk to every team. I mean, when the Ethereum is more, right, Vitalik and our other core team member actually talk to many other ecosystem project. I don't think they got time right now, and it deserve a better and more more fair system, right? And for us, the same thing. We able to talk to Uniswap. We able to talk to MakerDAO when we both are or we're quite small and there's still bear market. Yeah. But as a founder, as a founder just dropped out of college, another young pioneer, another young entrepreneur, when he took a look at the math network, I think he'll be shocked. Oh, this is so cool. I want to build something on top of it as my startup project. And he should learn our code and bought some math token and build a decentralized applet. And we are permissionless system. As long as you hold the math token and become a DAO member, you can do something, you can propose something. Then your decentralized applet will up and running on Twitter, maybe Facebook. Later on, I don't know, Twitter, Reddit, Instagram for NFT, YouTube for video NFT, Medium for blog, maybe other partnership with other platform like Mirror.xyz, Unlock Protocol. It's all ongoing. Yeah. And we're expert in our field, but we don't plan to do all the things. It's the important part. The most important part I learned from this, decentralized ecosystem, no matter Bitcoin or Ethereum or DeFi or NFT, is the community. The community can really empower a project. So if you have a cool idea, like I will make a tweet, NFT, tell us, and we can try to help you. No matter just send our dev to help you, send a bounty, doing some grants on Gitcoin. We did a lot of grants on Gitcoin, or maybe just more check investment, or help you to introduce you to the right people, right technology. You have the, you as a founder, young founder or young entrepreneur have the amazing idea. You're gonna achieve it through the mass network. And then we're gonna have an evolving ecosystem, a larger and larger ecosystem. Everyone can build things on top of it. Who knows what's the next thing? I don't know. Maybe Instagram become an NFT. Maybe YouTube can become, virtual YouTuber can become a metaverse on mass network. No idea. But definitely you use both Web 2 and Web 3. So that we're, as far as I know, mass network is the only bridge for now for the whole integration, for the whole story. Yeah. For the whole middleware. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about security. Like, how is the Mask plugin secure for other users? It doesn't steal their data. It doesn't leak it. There isn't a malicious update that happens on the Chrome store and starts stealing people's personal information, their keys.
That's an amazing story. That's definitely very important. I mean, the user data, the privacy, and definitely the private key is something we will never touch, right? And so there's several ways we can ensure this is something will never happen. We'll ensure this is something best for the design is best for the user interest. First, it's fully open source. So everything you see today, including all these future updates, including a lot of other people's, they might be private libraries to for some certain purpose, like the fiat on ramp for Visa. We don't know what is Visa doing internally, right? But for our end, it's more open source, and being open source for 2 years on GitHub, we update the code base even in a daily basis. And you can see all our change nodes, update nodes. It's all open to everyone. So it's being open audited by a lot of anonymous members in the decentralized community. I believe there will be some formal audit report. But honestly, these anonymous members are actually help a lot. We've been running for quite safe for around 2 years from now. Also, another thing I want to mention is as I show you the demo, this hosting is in a sandbox, or this thing are not really on Twitter server. They were never on Twitter server. They're rendered by a plugin, and or this thing are actually on the decentralized network. How we really enable this, and how we make this happen on a web browser or on a mobile app, is we actually work very hard and we open source everything. So we become a standard member of a lot of web standard itself. For example, ECMA. Let me open up the link here. So ECMA is one of the standard community for the web standard, especially for the JavaScript, for many other web standards as well. So as the Ethereum have the Ethereum Foundation, the web have the Web3 Consortium and ECMA. And ECMA are formed by around 30-ish great companies to set up the standard of web together, right? And we are member of ECMA. We joined the ECMA 2 years ago. So Suji Tech is our legal entity in the state.
Yeah.
MetaMask represent consensus and Ethereum, Ethereum people. Then the other guys are giants like Alibaba, Sony, and there's around 30-ish member in ECMA. In the whole crypto world, I believe there's only 3-4 members. Besides MetaMask and us, Coinbase joined in last year, a few months ago, and there's other member. But again, we open source, and we've been talking with the standard committee very openly about what we did and why it's important for the next generation of web, why we want to push something in like this into a standard. And they're kind of amazed as well. They're astonished. Oh wow, we can do this on Twitter. Yeah, let's make this a future standard of the web, right? And also Blue Sky. If you remember, Jet Dorsey initiated the Blue Sky. I don't think it's a project. It's more like a small initiative inside Twitter in the end of 2019. Unfortunately, Twitter is still a centralized company. I think there's still a lot of internal tension. They can't really just roll out a decentralized version so easily. Our CTO is still an active member of Blue Sky. We're in the group and talking with all the other members, around 20 members in a weekly basis. These are cool people. So we share the idea. We don't want to piss off the centralized platform, but we also kind of feel Libra we're not going to work, right? Blue Sky might work, but in a very, very slow way. It might not deliver in the next 5 years. So that's why we're here. Hey, we're building the bridge between the Web 2 and Web 3. On the one side, we partner with Uni, Maker. We got endorsement from Dan and Vitalik. On the other side, we try to say, hey, Twitter, you can't do this thing alone, right? Facebook the Libra thing is not going to work. Let's make this thing on Twitter and Facebook and Reddit. I don't know what's the next platform, and let the user decide, let the developer decide what they want. Build the thing you want and make it run in the Web 2 platform, and make this thing a standard and put that into a standard committee, discuss along with Coinbase, with MetaMask, with giants like Apple, Google, Alibaba, or I don't know, Sony and other things. And let's vote for the next generation of web. Let's make this standard. So we don't invent something out of nowhere. We're the thing we have to discuss a lot with the old-fashioned standard and new fashion Web3 protocols. But it's up and running, and it will keep evolving. The MAS token will be as the active governance token for many purposes, as I mentioned, right? Many sub-DAO like ITO. ITO is the first one, and also the developer need to host some later on. Yeah, so that's something we want to ensure. We want to say, hey, make it open so no one can say you have a backdoor or whatever, and make it a standard so everyone will discuss with you about what you can improve. Whether it's too early, but in our opinion, it's the right time. People heard of Web3, people heard of the decentralized web, but there's no way to use it. It's just like the 90s. People want to use internet. It's an alien life form now landed on the web too, right? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Could you tell us more about the company, the Mask company? It's been around for several years. I see. Yeah, ECMA 2019. How small was the team when it started? When did it start? And where is it going in the next year?
Yeah, we started the team around late 2017 when I dropped off from college. I was doing a lot of AI autonomous driving car stuff and independent journalists, writing about open source and free software, open web. I drop out and then I meet all these co-members, say, "Hey, let's do something. Let's make the web a better place." Well, it's a little cliche, but when I realized what Ethereum can empower the web to do, I realized, oh, this is possible. But let's be patient. Let's wait for a lot of technology to be ready. Let's build this thing together. We spent around more than 1 year to make this thing up and running, and we start to have more and more endorsement, more and more partnership, more and more investor interested in investing in us. Well, the previous bear market from 2018 to 2020 is pretty, it's definitely it's a hard time for many teams, including us. But like we didn't raise too many until recently. Let me share this screen for our cool story. 1 second. So right now the team is around 40-ish people, but we started for only around 5 people, and we just code all these things ourselves, and like as I mentioned later on, we have all these great endorsements. 1 second. Oops. You can see the screen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're lucky that we got covered by mainstream media because we would keep telling people the story. Hey, dude, you have Web3. It's not up and running. Yeah, and we established company. We not only working on the mask, we also donate a lot in the open source project like Twitter and Mastodon, which is the decentralized version of Twitter, federated version of Twitter, and that's all the functionality. Red Pocket trading, Gitcoin, NFT, these are ongoing bounties or existing partnerships, or these great endorsement. And I'd say in the past bear market, it's been really tough time for us, but we keep doing on this, and ends up we have all this endorsement, and later on we have several large investors. DCG, Hashkey, Binance, and Imoca all invested. It's not all included here. I will actually want to thanks to like Alameda Research, a lot of other funds, Hash Global, all these funds. They keep supporting us. They're like kind of like astonished by the product and the vision as well. Hey, what if all the people on Web2 are on Web3? It will 100 times the existing ecosystem. And then the mass network ecosystem, the governance token will definitely was a lot, and all these partners are really enjoying our partnership because we bring the real use case.
Yeah.
So
brings mass adoption.
Yeah. We raised around 8 million in private rounds in the last 2 years, and we did a really successful launch and then an LBP auction. So in total, we raised around 40-ish million. We still have a lot of cash in hand, and we're actually donating, actively granting people. So you will see more and more people develop mass depth. I'd say that's more important than let's say centralized this thing, whatever. I mean, but definitely CE access thing is very important. So as a CEO, in my opinion, it might be not really the case for other projects, but in my opinion, my job is to decentralize the team in next 5 years. So we spend the next 3 years to make the product running and make developer aware of us. So right now we're focused on building the ecosystem. In the next 5 years, I should not be the CEO of the company. If the company still exists and still need a CEO, I don't think that's a good sign, right? The ideal way is, hey, it's been decentralized. I'm still the founder. I'm still the evangelist, but You don't need to ask me whether I like this,
Right.
idea or not. Hey,
Anyone can do anything.
Do whatever. Yeah, do whatever you want and let people vote, right? Let people governance, and it still require a lot of time. Still require a lot of effort. So we're expanding the team. There's many volunteer, many community member helping us. We're not doing good enough. Still improving. And on the commercial side, we're just listed on Binance. We listed on all these major central exchange. There's still someone we have to do compliance, and we're in active conversation. But I learned a lot from the Ethereum community about the power of developer, power of the ecosystem. The community is the most important thing. The ecosystem. Once it becomes larger, you'll see it up and running in a sustainable way that don't need a CEO. Yeah, so my job is try to not become the CEO in next 5 years and make this thing running as well.
Yeah, got it. Very cool. Anything else you'd like to discuss? We got a lot of information. I'm going to post the interview, and then I'm also going to make another video, probably like 10 to 15 minutes, just explaining everything summed up real quick with graphics, and so people can get the essence of everything Mask is doing more quickly. Would I also be able to get a copy of that PowerPoint presentation?
Sure, no problem. Yeah, you can use some like icons or screenshots in the PowerPoint. Yeah, no problem. All right. So I think it's all from my side, and yeah, we're gonna have a hackathon in probably July or August for our Mask 2.0, and there's many other features, and we want to let developers to enjoy and have a try, and we're quite, I think, people within the CM community, within the decentralized community already aware of Mask, but we still need to do more promotions, right? Hey, let everyone kind of astonished by functionality and know it. Like, hey, this is a really cool project. Let's build something together. That's something we're doing, focusing right now. Yeah.
Very cool. All right. And that's Maskbook. Mask. That's a Mask. Sorry, I keep saying Maskbook because I was reading the Twitter, and just the Twitter name keeps getting me. So very cool. Thank you for your time, Suji. I am very excited about Web 3.0 and the power of what Mask can do and all the applications within a system I'm already using. I didn't know about all of this. I think, updating some of that stuff on the website, that would help get other people to understand more quickly.
Definitely.
I'm going to definitely make a good video about this because I'm excited as well. So thank you for your time, and I appreciate it. And that was my interview with Suji Yan, creator of Mask. I hope you enjoyed this. Please hit that like button and invest at your own risk. We're just talking about projects and what they can do. No promises on price.